Blessed be, beloveds, and welcome to the first day of the rest of your life, the first day of the best of your life. I am Astarius Miraculi, and here today to speak with you about the Grand Cardinal Cross coming up in this month, the 23rd, really powerful astrological configuration, the likes of which has not happened for a very, very long time. Before I get into the intricacies of what this astrological configuration actually means, I want to offer some frequency with my didgeridoo for balancing. You'll hear many, many different things about this configuration, some that are presented in a way that tend to be a little bit scary. My role is to bring about absolute empowerment. So as I play my didgeridoo, this is for the purpose of getting you to come into that place of alignment where you can hear with the intention to be absolutely empowered by this frequency. So I'll offer these didgeridoo healing vibrations as a resonance of healing for you and me and every being in all existence included in helping in this sonic resonance. And the universe will never be the same by virtue of that which is now shared. Blessed be the sacredness of this divine moment and these divine frequencies. As I said, this Grand Cardinal Cross is one of the most powerful astrological configurations that has shown up in a very long time. We have the planet Pluto in Capricorn, Uranus in Aries, Jupiter in Cancer, and Mars in Libra. The Grand Cross, which is sometimes referred to as a grand square, is in the cardinal realm. Cardinal is in astrology is extremely powerful. The cardinal houses, the 1st, the 7th, the 4th, and the 10th, the most powerful action-oriented houses. And so the frequency of this particular configuration represents a lot in terms of action, in terms of things that have really a lot of a lot of juice. The Pluto in Capricorn has been related a lot to a breaking down of governmental structures, a breaking down of things having to do with control, responsibility, worth, honor, organization. Some will have to face energies associated with depression, but at the same time, there is the opportunity to transcend all of that. One of the things that is really important to do in the face of this configuration is to decide what is the reality that you want to have. What would you like for these energies to do for you? One, Pluto represents death, regeneration, transformation. So what are the ways in which you need to go through a death process as far as energies of control, energies of responsibility? How have you been engaging in responsibility? Have you been responsible? Do you need to come into a greater resonance of responsibility? The power of transformation of responsibility, transformation of control, transformation of timing, all of that is there. Pluto represents one of the most powerful energies of change and transformation that there is, while at the same time, there's an electric transformational energy that is brought forth by Uranus, which is in the sign of Aries. Aries is the sign of self-expression, and Uranus has a lot to do with higher consciousness. The electrical expression of consciousness, filtering through the individualized expression of self. So powerful consciousness can now be infused into the collective selfhood. This is a very, very powerful frequency. And one of the things that's also extremely powerful about this grand cross, this grand square, is that each one of these planets on the 23rd of April are at the 13th degree. And the number 13 has a lot also to do with death, regeneration, transformation, ascension, as well as the great mysteries and the underworld. And so, these planets could be anywhere within, let's say, 5 to 8 degrees of proximity to be in a grand square. However, they are all exactly at 13 degrees, which is extremely powerful and extremely rare, representing some very powerful transformational energies that are up for us here on the planet. So we may witness some breaking down of governmental structures, but this would be governmental structures that are really not coming from that win-win place. All of the taking energies are energies that have to go through a transformational process. And of course, we have collectively created all of this. Everything that is happening at the level of government is an outpicturing of that which we have collectively co-created. But there is this emergence within us as the planet Uranus is moving its energy through the sign of Aries. There is this energy that is propelling us to come into a greater resonance of freedom. Uranus represents a great deal to do with freedom. Like, what does it take to feel a sense of freedom? What does it take to feel a sense of liberation? Feeling a sense of liberation, feeling a sense of freedom relative to who we are as a leader. That's the frequency of Aries. What is the leadership qualities doing inside of you? Are you allowing them to be expressed? Have they been dormant? Are they pushing their way to the surface to have a greater expression within your life? So this is very strong. The energy of boldness is coming forward. The energy of the warrior and, expectfully the sacred warrior coming forth. That's another thing that is represented by the sign of Aries. This is an opportunity as well as a motivation to transcend impatience. That's one of the shadow expressions of Aries. Impatience is its own form of fear. The fear that if things don't happen immediately, that they won't happen at all. So this is an opportunity to really address where it is that we've been impatient and to transcend the impatience, to come into a greater expression of optimism. You know, optimistic expression is one of the light expressions of Aries. You know, overcoming impulsiveness, or the shadow expression of impulsiveness. You know, we want to transcend that, but at the same time be in divine alignment with assertiveness. It's also an opportunity to transcend jealousy. You know, with Uranus in Aries and Mars in Libra, so they are in an oppositional alignment with each other. So there's an opportunity to look at the ways in which jealousy has been an influential force within your life, and the importance of transcending that. You know, also making sure that you're not jealous of people who have achieved that which you want to achieve for yourself. If you're jealous of those who have achieved what you seek to achieve for yourself, then unknowingly you're jealous, you know, of the thing that you want, and you push it away from yourself. So you want to make sure that you're in that place of celebrating, you know, to deeply celebrate when you see others, you know, in a state of achievement and accomplishment. When you celebrate that which you witness, then you create this resonance of oneness with that achievement that you're witnessing, and it creates then the soul jumpstart to accelerate you more in that same resonance of achievement. So always celebrate all of the achievement that you witness, and recognize that that is your own achievement by extension, because every being in the whole of existence that is accomplishing or achieving anything are doing so while being accompanied by a cellular counterpart within them that is you. You are a cellular resonance and presence within every being in all existence. Just as, you know, there is a cellular presence of every being in the whole of existence that exists inside of you. You know, you are the microcosmic container of the macrocosmic all that is. You know, there is a oneness of wholeness that is reflected through the Uranian energy. So this is an opportunity to really recognize the way in which we are one with each other and not in that place of separation. However, this grand square will be igniting the need to look at the ways in which we have walked in separation and the pain that has been created through that separation. You know, Mars represents individual selfhood in the sign of Libra. Libra represents the other, relationships and so forth. You know, and so, you know, it is an opportunity to recognize the way in which self, Mars, you know, is infused into, you know, relationship, the Libran energy, the way in which connection is there, because that which makes us powerful is the recognition of the oneness of the wholeness, not separation. You know, Jupiter's in the sign of Cancer, and so we're looking at things from the perspective of community, from the perspective of family, from the perspective of emotionality. Okay, and so Pluto is in oppositional alignment with the Jupiter, which is in Cancer. You know, the Cancer, the emotionality. You know, Pluto represents that which is hidden. You know, and so the ways in which we have sometimes tried to hide the emotional side of who we are, these things are going to have light shed on them, and things are starting to come to the surface. This is a time when you'll not be able to hide your emotions, but you don't want to be an emotional hider anyway, because whenever you try to hide the essence of you from others, you unknowingly wind up hiding the essence of you from you. That is the price that is paid for being a hider. And so we want to have sacred guts on the table, really be present with whatever it is that we are feeling, because we come to a deeper understanding of the feeling aspect of who we are by being openly expressive of those feelings, you know, and not being afraid that, well, maybe other people won't understand what it is that I'm feeling. Even if they don't understand, recognizing that we have the right as well as the responsibility to be all of the feeling expressiveness that is taking place inside of us. The key being not to project those feelings on to others in a negative way, not to project anger and blame, and all of that kind of thing on other people, but to be responsible for that which we are feeling. So there is a great amplification of feelings that is taking place through this grand cardinal cross. It is important to understand that even the dark and shadow feelings can be something that can become servant unto us. They don't have to be master over us. It's much like fertilizer. It is wise not to despise it. Use the dung to fertilize it, for life's greatest connoisseur gets the best crops from the best manure. And we see that. Fertilizer is waste. And that waste is dumped onto the ground. And the soil yields richer crops, not in spite of the waste, but because of the waste. And so it is that we can yield a richer crop of life experiences, not in spite of the shadow difficulties that we're facing, but because of them. So it's important that we not be afraid of these energies that we're facing. These energies represent a very powerful collective magnitude of universal selfhood that is a mirrored reflection of the multiplicity of our collective selfhood that we can, at the individual level, harness. We can harness these powerful energies. The energy of Mars in Libra, we can harness the power of the unity. Unity is a U-N-I-T-Y, you and I tie. Again, the recognition of the oneness, of the wholeness, of connection. Libra also is a representation of balance. So we have an opportunity to come into deeper balance. What is balance? B-A-L-A-N-C-E, be all and see. B-A-L-A-N-C-E, be all and see. So we want the balance. And in order to have the balance, we take all of the ingredients that exist within our lives and we bring them into a harmonic convergence, allowing them to then be servant unto us. It is an opportunity for the spirit of charm. We can become much more charming, and in that charmingness become a greater magnet for attracting the fruitfulness of life unto us. An opportunity to express more grace. Now, these are the light expressions, that is resulting from this configuration. We have to choose those light expressions. Yes, there's a lot of shadow energies, that can come. There's conflict, there's confrontation, there is negativity, there is warring, there is the breaking down of structures, but the structures that are breaking down are those that are no longer serving. The key is don't fight to hold on to that which has outlived its usefulness. Let it go. Allow the change and allow the transformation to take place. It's a time when we're meant to move into a higher resonance of social interchange, opening our hearts to a greater extent, to greater numbers of people. Of course, again, you have to choose all of this. And I'm really emphasizing the divine benevolent aspect because we have the power to choose that which is benevolent, to choose that which is graceful, to choose that which offers blessings. All of this is available through this powerful configuration. And yes, there's a lot of shadow energies, a lot of dark energies, a lot of painful energies, a lot of negative energies that are available too. My encouragement, however, is don't choose those things. You have the power to choose. We have the power to choose. So one of the things that you might want to do is to do a meditation. I have created this meditation mantra, where you inhale and you think benevolent grand cardinal cross. And you exhale. In my case, I would exhale sacred Astarius. And then I would inhale benevolent grand cardinal cross. Then I would exhale sacred Astarius. Or you might choose the word blessed. Inhale, blessed Grand Cardinal Cross, exhale, Sacred Astarius. Of course, you would use your name. So you're trading breath with this configuration and recognizing that this configuration is also an astrological extension of your own beingness. So this is a powerful, powerful opportunity now. There's something else. Let me reach back and get it. I want to share with you with regards to the whole piece of astrology. This is from my book, Feast of the Zodiac. And as I say here, always remember that astrology is a science of probability, probabilities of character and occurrence that may or may not manifest as reality. God's grace is a law above and beyond cause and effect. Every individual has the power to change the would-be negatives of life and even to intercept them before they manifest. We are never bound. That which is negative or anti-divine is unnatural, and every negative implication in astrology is a candidate for cancellation before occurrence or interception before duration. So that is really important to be aware of. Okay, your thoughts, feelings, words, and actions equal cause impressed upon the planets. The responding streams of energy released from the planets attempt to, or indeed manifest, circumstances which equal effect, pleasing or trying opportunities of initiation. And the passing or the failing of the test, its culmination or continuation equals effect, reflected in attitude. Attitudes are more important than circumstances. Attitude cannot always immediately change the effects, circumstances of your life, but attitude can and does indeed determine what effect the circumstantial effects will have on you. Thus, the bitter circumstances can be transformed into sweetness. So you have the power. Be at resonance with that reality. Recognize that there is a leader that is pushing its way to the surface. That's reflected through Uranus in Aries, saying liberate the leader that exists within you. Liberate the sacred warrior that is within you. As well as be assertive. Transcend impulsiveness. Transcend having a temper and jealousy. Pluto in Capricorn. This is the death and the regeneration and the transformation of shadow expressions of control. The transformation of responsibility. If there has been irresponsibility, now is the time to rise into a higher resonance of responsibility. It is also a time to experience the transformation of unworthiness and rise up into a higher resonance of that which is worthy, because you are infinitely welcome to the blessedness of life and infinitely worthy of all of the goodness of life. It is a time for the death of organizational structures that do not really serve in a win-win way. It is a time for the transformation of that which is depressing and to instead rise into the resonance of the bliss wave. Pluto represents death, regeneration, transformation. It also represents the ascension. And when we come into the full resonance of the ascension, we are able to then ride the bliss wave. So I want to leave you now with this poem, I Do Take Me, and it's in my book, Miraculi, Song of Ascension. The other piece that I read is in my book, Feast of the Zodiac, Wisdom of Astrology. So I have two books that are available for you. But this piece I call I Do Take Me, because this is a time of really skyrocketing our sense of gratitude in the worth of self. I love myself with all my heart. Eternal knowing God impart. No more hatred, no more pain. Legacy of heaven, mine to claim. Once I really hated me, a self-induced catastrophe. Others began to hate me too. Hate's reflection became my due. When I look in any mirror, each reflection is my own. If I dislike that which I am, rejection by others will be shown. In self-acceptance, let me grow. To hereby let all others know, I want them to accept me too. They only follow what I do. I ask myself to marry me, to thus fulfill my destiny. I promise always to be true. Self-love and honor I am due. Sweet self, I'm sorry for the pain. Forgive and love me once again. I want me for eternity, a better lover than to be. Now every bond is sweeter too, for loving me is loving you. Within the temple of heaven's house, I do take me to be my spouse. Divine Creator, God, Goddess Absolute, we come before your sacred throne of spirit and truth, asking you to assist us in the harmonic assimilation of the energies of this grand cardinal cross, that we would make all of these energies servant unto us and not allow them to be master over us. Let us walk in the resonance of that divine essence of your eternal beingness that you have planted within us. God, Goddess, let us move forward with courageousness and joy and bliss, with divine and sacred expectancy of riding the wings of these powerful energies that we are embarking upon. Okay, beloved, remember how powerful you are. Remember that you are the stuff that all of the love that is, was, or ever will be is made of. Be excited about these times and be empowered by these times, because that is what is available to you. I am Astarius Miraculi. My website is astarius.com. ASTARIUS.com. I have some amazing treasures there for you. Please go there and partake, because there's more and more and more. Aho, Ashe, Amen, Namaste, Hotep, In Lakesh, Alakin, Satnam, Shalom.